Game 30 for the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as they play host to the San Jose Sharks. Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, Mario Ferraro here tonight. I'm looking for this Maple Leafs team to continue building off of what they have over the last week because the style of hockey that they've been playing, dating back to the games against Tampa, Florida, Carolina, Pittsburgh, even a little bit of that Montreal game, there's been some signs of a legitimate contending, or at least competitive hockey team. Very different than what we saw early on in the season when this team couldn't even find a way to snap their losing streaks, let alone string together a couple of wins. And it looked like on a nightly basis we were coming away asking this team to just show up and battle, show up and compete. It's been far different. The attention to detail, the physicality, the depth scoring, guys finding roles and identities here within this lineup. So things have really changed over the last week or so, and maybe even looking back the last 2 weeks, specifically since Joe Woll returned and made his way back into the lineup and the impact that he's had and stabilizing everything, and then kind of just where it's picked up from there, because then you look at the defensive play got better. Then Dennis Hildeby comes in, and he played better than he did earlier on in the season. So everything has kind of started to rise for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and hopefully that continues tonight against a young, energetic, and speedy San Jose Sharks team. In today's game preview, we'll dig into what we have for lineups as well as our best bet, but let's not make you wait any further. Let's head on over to Daily Faceoff and take a look at the biggest news of the day. Now, it's not necessarily today. This did come out yesterday, but you'll notice a big change here in the lineup. So, first and foremost, the first line, Nyes, Matthews, Domi remains together. I made my case clear. I have no issues with Max Domi being on the team, but in the top six, I think that's just not where he belongs. I'd rather see Max Domi play on your third or your fourth lines instead of your first line right wing. I know that they've had some good moments here, but good moments is not good enough when you have Auston Matthews and Matthew Nyes still not scoring at the rate that you'd like them to be scoring at when you pay them as much as you do and you are as reliant upon them as you are. It's nice that you're getting depth scoring, but your big boys have to be your big boys, and Auston Matthews getting chances isn't quite as good as Auston Matthews scoring goals, and I don't think Max Domi is necessarily the guy who puts you over the hump there. He's also a guy who's a little bit more defensively liable. He's a better fit for a bottom six role on this team. It's no disrespect to Max Domi. I just don't think he's the top six fit, and I'd rather upgrade over a Max Domi in your top six and be able to move him somewhere else in your lineup. Now, that's not what I'm pointing out here. Nic Robertson, first of all, comes back into this lineup, out of the press box, and he comes right into a second line right wing role. Second line right wing, you ask? That would be because William Nylander finds his way down to the third line. So let's tackle this all together. First of all, the move that allows Nic Robertson into the second line right wing is a Nylander bump to the third line. Craig Berube talked about it the other day and effectively was saying, he needs more out of William Nylander, which I think we all know and we all agree upon. So it's not like that's a mystery and we're going, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Who saw this coming? No. Yeah, we've known for a little while, it's been a bit since William Nylander's gotten going and produced and put up any kind of points or anything like that. And we've noticed it seems like his engagement at times has kind of fallen off a cliff. Now, I know there's some people out there who believe that Chief and Nylander don't actually get along. There's some people who believe that Berube doesn't love Nylander as much as maybe he says in the media, and this actually pissing him off. But regardless of what you think of it, there seems to be something that works about what Chief does and how Nylander responds. Whether it's the yelling at him, cussing him out, publicly calling him out for stuff, I don't know. And whether you agree or disagree with that kind of stuff, it's up to you. But it seems to have some type of response out of Nylander basically every single time. So maybe here, moving Nylander to the third line where he's going to play with Nick Waugh and Dakota Joshua will give him some type of spark and some wake-up call and be like, hey, you got to fucking go. I will say just from the construction of that, that's not what I see as a long-term line. So Leafs Nation, don't panic. But for the short term and where he's going to play tonight against San Jose, I think it could kind of work My reasoning behind that is like, Watt, defensively responsible, big body. He can move up and down the ice. He's pretty decent at transporting the puck, like not unbelievable, but decent. He's got some good hands. He's got scoring touch. He's got offensive ability. Like, it's all in his game. He's not like playing with David Kampf where it's just a black hole of offense. Dakota Joshua has some offensive upside as well. We've talked about it, his ability to maybe score 15 to 20 goals here on this team. If he can tap into that, the physicality, we saw him fight for the first time with the Maple Leafs the other day. We've seen his physical play amp up. We've seen him scoring more goals here in Toronto. So, like, all of that stuff is continuing to get better and better and better. Nylander's going to be the focal point. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the driver. He's going to be the one who is going to be relied upon between these three to be like, well, you have to carry it up the ice. You have to score. You have to create the chance. And then the other two guys can battle for pucks. They can get pucks back. They can find themselves in advantageous spots because everyone focuses on Nylander and maybe they get forgotten about and they have offensive upside. So maybe they can capitalize. Maybe they can create screens and get to the net front and tip pucks and that kind of stuff. So I'm not predicting that this is going to be some amazing combination and we're going to say, how can you break this apart? But I think in the short term that this is something that can work. Like, it doesn't seem to me like this is the worst combination of players of all time to be put together. Like, there are aspects of this line that can be beneficial to the Maple Leafs here tonight and to each individual player. I will also note quickly, like, we've seen Nylander go with the, how do you want to call it? The checking line, maybe is the polite way to say it, of Leafs teams past. I think sometimes in some of those lines, it hasn't been as defined as what this one would be. So Nylander is going to be the skill guy, is what I mean. And you're going to have two guys here who are just going to work their bags off and hopefully get you the puck back. And I think that they've got enough skill that they can get the puck back to Nylander. So it should be okay. Like, it's not going to be like some just dead cutoff where it's like Nylander has to do everything on his own. I think the other guys can contribute. But, like, from a checking standpoint and knowing these guys are going to work, they're going to play defensive, they're going to hit hard, they're going to be able to cycle, and they're going to get pucks back. Like, that's what those two guys will do. Maybe this helps them. Maybe this snaps them out of the funk. Second line, because this goes to the other side. One, Easton Cowan stays on that line. Like, you look at JT, Nylander, and Cowan, and you say, well, Nylander's not going. Tavares is kind of slowed down here a little bit. Cowan also has slowed down a little bit. It's kind of a testament to Easton Cowan, regardless of what some people might think about Easton Cowan and his ability in this top six. It's a testament to him that they look at that line and the first thought isn't get the kid out of there. I think Easton Cowan has been playing really well. I think he's learning and developing, and although the point production might not be there, and although he makes mistakes every now and then, I think we have to take a step back at points and realize this is a kid on an ELC who's fresh out of junior hockey, who is showing, even if it's not by points, that he's finding a way to be getting better every single time he goes on the ice. He's learning from his mistakes. He's learning from these high leverage situations that Berube will put him in. Late games, power plays, when you need a goal in overtimes. Like, he's getting the experience. He's getting to go out there. And on the other side, you look at the surrounding factors, because this is where I start to disagree with people. You have enough guys in that room, veteran guys who came in at young ages, guys who are highly touted prospects between Matthews and Nylander and Tavares and Morgan Rielly. You look at the veterans that are around them, Scott Laughton, Nick Waugh, Nick Waugh sitting beside him in the room, even guys like Dakota Joshua, Steven Lorentz, like those guys around that can kind of sit there and be like, we can help you through this. We can teach you. We can answer questions. We can help you be a pro. There seems to be like positivity from those guys. And then the other aspect is there seems to be a lot of support coming from the coaching staff to Easton Cowan to give him more opportunities and not just like oh, you made a bad play, you're going to play 6 minutes tonight. There were a couple times early on where he would lose minutes and he would lose them quickly, but over the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot more faith in him. Some of that was out of demand. You were missing guys. You had some injuries and you had to play the guy a bit more. But even after everybody started to come back, you've seen hey, Cowan, okay, it's not going as well tonight. Move him around in the lineup. Still get him 14 minutes. Still get him 15 minutes here. Spreading minutes out amongst guys rather than just yanking it away and having him play 9 minutes where maybe his confidence does get shot. Yeah, you skip a shift or two. Learn. You're allowed to fucking learn. You're allowed to have shifts taken away. You're allowed to have that stuff happen because I can guarantee you that happened to him at the junior level. I can guarantee that happened in London when he was developing, when he was a young guy there. And I know it's at NHL level and it's different, but until you see that he's not growing anymore, until you see that he's not developing, which points-wise, maybe it doesn't suggest that, hey, this guy is blossoming into some unbelievable player, but watching his confidence, watching his approach to the game, watching him become a pro, watching his maturity develop, you can tell that he's learning and he's getting better. Stays in that second line, and I think he deserves it, personally. The other guy on that second line who comes back in here now is Nic Robertson, which is kind of a funny concept that we're watching him in the press box eat popcorn, and now here he is back in the lineup, and he's not just back in the lineup, but he's on your second line. If you're going to bet anything tonight, a Nic Robertson anytime goal probably would be the way to look, scratch and score, scratch and score, scratch and score type stuff. So Nic Robertson finds his way back in. I just want to see the guy developing some, or creating some opportunities, I should say, not developing, creating some opportunities. Use his speed, use that physicality that he's shown that he can have. He should know his game was slipping. Berube knew his game was slipping, called him out for it, puts him in the press box. Hopefully that sends a message Nic Robertson at this point, we talk about it, scratch and score. Let's see that come to fruition here tonight for Nic Robertson. So he jumps back in on your second line. Calle Järnkrok, Steven Lorentz, and Scott Laughton remain together on your third line. No real thoughts on that. Down to your defensive pairings, Morgan Rielly did not skate yesterday. He is skating at optional skate this morning. Seems like he was dealing with some type of sickness, but he'll be ready to go tonight. He plays alongside OEL. Again, I think OEL for the general body of work has been the Maple Leafs' best player on the defensive side of the puck this season, and I'm just looking for that to continue here tonight against San Jose. Your second pair of Jake McCabe and Troy Stecher, that was the best pair the other night, and that was the best game that each of them have probably had, and they've had as a pair. They were awesome when it came to breaking pucks out, in transition, regrouping in the neutral zone, holding pucks in the offensive zone, maintaining possession, creating offensive opportunities, knowing when to and when not to engage in the play. Even just the physicality that they brought to the table. Troy Stecher and Jake McCabe, I thought that was their best game of the season. Here's where I have a beef. I don't want to spend too much time on the top four because they're not changing. I've said basically what I could say about them. We'll break down their games on the After Dark show, but this is where I have a problem. As of right now, it's slotted that Philipe Myers is going to play with Simon Benoit. Dakota Mermis obviously placed on IR, which is too bad because he was playing better than Myers. You recalled Henry Thrun in the wake of Dakota Mermis being put on IR. Why in the fuck can Henry Thrun not get in this lineup? Philipe Myers has had 3 good games this season. And good is relative because good for Philipe Myers this season, unfortunately, has been compared to the other games that he has had. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. I don't know if it's a changing structure. I don't know if it was just the rest of the team around him not playing well, but Philipe Myers has really, really, really struggled this season. And the games where he's looked good has, again, been just actually okay, but it's just been good relative to how he's performed otherwise. Henry Thrun has been with the Marlies. By all accounts, he's been doing well there. San Jose is his old team. I know that it's not ideal in terms of righties and lefties into the lineup with Thrun being called up, but like, why not give the kid an opportunity? Why not give him a chance here to play in this lineup and see what you have? Based on the way that Myers has played so far this season, how much worse could it actually possibly be? And if people remember back to like the Sabres game in Buffalo early in the season, Mermis and Myers, I believe at that point, had both come into the lineup and both were out like just atrocious in that game. It got better for both of them. I'll give them credit, but like both atrocious. So if you want to compare what the first game with the team could look like for Thrun versus what the first game with the team looked like for Myers and like what the ceiling at this point has been for Myers, I'm at a loss here when it comes to like, why not try Thrun? You've got the guy sitting there. You called him up. You're giving him an opportunity to come and join the team at bare minimum. Why not play him? Like, why not insert him into the lineup? Why not let Philipe Myers go out there with Simone Benoit? Why not let Thrun go out there with Simone Benoit? Why continue to put Philipe Myers out there? I get that he's big. Get that he's got a long stick, but like, why not try another guy? Why not find out what you have? Maybe he's an asset that you can move. Maybe he's an asset that you can play in this lineup. Like, that's where the disconnect is for me, is why not try the guy? But whatever. Philipe Myers stays in. We have no control over this lineup. That's just the one spot I look at ahead of this game. And again, maybe Philipe Myers will make me eat my words and he's going to play amazing tonight. But I look at that and I think, why not give him a go? Like, why not try it? Why not let Thrun play? You brought him up. It's not even me asking you to bring him up. You brought him up. Those are your forwards and defensive pairs. Your power play here tonight: Nyes, Tavares, Matthews, Nylander, Morgan Rielly. Again, OEL's the guy that I would put out there, but Rielly remains. The power play, it's got to figure itself out. You are costing yourself games. You know, look at the Montreal game. 5 minutes left in the third period, tied 1-1. You don't deserve to win that one, but you're tied. You have a chance to now up a man with Auston Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares on the ice, and it doesn't feel like you have anything dangerous at all. You might as well have been playing 5-on-5 or shorthanded yourself, because like, you can't generate anything. It's a momentum killer for this team right now. It makes no sense. Starting goaltender for tonight will be Dennis Hildeby. Akhtiamov will not play here tonight. But if you want some positive news coming out of this, Chris Tanev, once again skating in a non-contact red jersey. He's going to be evaluated later today, which will determine what kind of course of action the Maple Leafs need to take and how much longer he'll be out, if we could be expecting a return soon. So Chris Tanev evaluation will be taking place. And then the other piece of important news here today is that Joseph Woll was also skating at optional skate here this morning. So to see him on the ice is positive, given that they said, you know, hopefully not long-term, hopefully not that bad, blah, 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 blah. That means Jack Diddley to me when it comes to the Maple Leafs. Like, they don't say nothing that we can believe at this point. Anthony Stolarz was day-to-day November 13th. It's December 11th, and he's not even skating. We've at least seen pictures of him in the room, as we showed on the After Dark show the other day, but he's not even skating. Like, not even on the ice that we've seen. So to see Woll on the ice in optional skate with the team, that to me is a positive. Let's get to our best bet segment. Our best bet is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code NATION, NATION. That's code NATION, NATION at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Going over to the Bet365 page here for tonight. Sides and totals in this one. San Jose plus 170, the Maple Leafs minus 205. I think that's the biggest favorite the Maple Leafs have been this season. I'll just be honest, I would not even go close to a minus 205. I'm not touching that one. But that said, kind of positive maybe, I guess, to see the Leafs go out this far as a favorite. Total here would be 6.5, the under minus 120, the over plus 100. If I were to lean one side in this, I'd probably lean towards the under. The Maple Leafs have been really, really tightening things up here over the last little while. They've been playing better defensively. They're not giving up as high danger opportunities, I should say. And they've been playing in some lower scoring, tighter checking games. So the under's probably the way I would lean. That said, I don't know if I bet the 6.5 at minus 120. Going over to the player props, this is where we're going to have two best bets tonight. It's the one I can't quit it. You know the meme where it's the guy and he's trying to hack his way through the wall. You know, he's mining through, and then there's two guys, and the guy on top turns around and he quits, and then the guy on the bottom is almost there, and he's keeping going, and you see at the other end of the tunnels, at the other end of the mines, is a big thing of diamonds. That's how I feel right now betting the William Nylander anytime goal. I can't quit him. So that's what we're doing again tonight. Nylander plus 155 anytime goal is our first best bet. A half unit on that one, $50, profits you $77.55 in this. So Nylander anytime goal, half unit plus 155. The other one we're going to do, come on, it's unobvious. Scratch and score. Nicky Bobby plus 350, half unit, $50 on that one. Look, the reality is he got the nickname for a reason. He finds a way to go out of the lineup, comes back in, and next thing you know, he's on the board. Nicky Bobby, in and out, scratch and score, whatever you want to call it. He finds a way to use that as a message sent, and he delivers. So $50 on this one will profit you $175. Quick note, I know William Nylander is playing on your third line, but again, the way Craig Berube has been deploying these guys, they're getting a lot of opportunities to kind of play minutes that are pretty even throughout the lineup. If he has Nylander on a third line and a second line of Cowan, JT, and Robertson, there might be even more reason for him to spread minutes out more evenly. So I can't imagine he's going to deploy them as a traditional third line personally, but that's my best bet. That's my approach to tonight's game. Again, Nylander, half unit, $50, profits you $77.50. A Nic Robertson anytime goal is the other one here, and that one is $50 at plus 350. $50 on that one will profit you $175. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything when it comes to Leafs Morning Take, interviews, exclusive sit-downs with players, potentially another one coming up here over the next little while, as well as our Christmas special that'll be coming out on Christmas Day, and the After Dark show that goes live every single Leafs game right here on this channel immediately following the game. Taking calls, getting your thoughts, having special guests, all of that and more. And by the way, tonight on Leafs Nation After Dark, a special guest, somebody that Leafs fans, especially the old talk radio Leafs fans who are familiar with common callers, I should say, those people should be excited about tonight's guest on the Leafs Nation After Dark. There should be a special guest joining us on the program immediately following the game here tonight against San Jose. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and we will see you guys tonight. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.